Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be sealing up the tailgate and running a seal down the left side, across the bottom, and up the right side. Now the bottom, we'll see. If it doesn't work, I may do the rock block anyway, but we're going to be using the ultimate tailgate seal with a taper, and it has instructions in here for, and pay attention because I messed up. So this one on the back side is for the 23 and newer, okay, so Gen 3. The other card here, which I was been studying, and I realized that I messed up, it says 22 and older. Okay, 22 and older. And so this sheet here, this other card also goes with that for the photos, okay? All right, now first step is to wash with soap and water, which I've done. And now I'm going to just use some alcohol swabs, which they give you, and I'm gonna clean up the paint where we're going to be attaching the seals, okay? I'm not gonna show you that, that's boring. Okay, so the alcohol prep work has been done. So we're gonna have at least an inch of the foam below the bed here. Okay, so probably about here, and it'll come up here along this face, and then about here we run out of face, and so you rotate the seal, and then finish running it up here, up to about here. But I am going to keep going up to where my GFC right here, where the frame comes in, so I'll have it up at least this high. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece so I don't have to fight with the whole coil. Okay, as I work my way up, you take the adhesive off. It says do not press hard, because you can be able to, at least below 80 degrees, I'm right on the margin, take this off and reposition it twice, maybe only once if it's where I'm at right now, which is probably close to 80. So just lightly let it touch, because you want to get everything on. Get inside, close it up, make sure that it's all sealed, you don't see any light coming, and then you're going to come back and put about 25 pounds of pressure on the adhesive to get it to adhere. Okay, so as it comes up, this little 90-degree rotation, just basically you're just going to keep the adhesive kind of coming up, and I probably have a little bit more, but see, this is that frame, so I'm happy. That's going to be about right, I think. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, mission accomplished. Okay, from here we go to step 3 in the kit, and other than the coil here, you're going to get this other piece, which is actually a larger seal here. Okay. And this is going to go along the lip of the tailgate. Here, I'll show you. This is going to be this here. So the tailgate's down. It's going to go into that piece. Okay. And there's another view of it from that angle. But that's how it's. So that's looking down at it, and that's the 3A's looking at it from the side. So we're going to cut a 2 3/4 inch piece, and we're going to apply that there. Okay, left side. And you can see that's where the tape is here. And all right, let's go to the other side now. Okay, and right side tailgate is attached. And let's see how that turns out. Let's work on the bottom now. All right, here we go. And here's how much is left of that big seal. So you have the ability to make several mistakes. Okay, so now I'm inside, and we are supposed to close everything up and check the left and right seals to make sure everything's good. We'll do that to see if there's any light coming through, it says, and then wherever we need to, we can use some of the remaining, either big seal or some of the little seal to seal it up. Now, yeah, this makes it so much easier, by the way, to reach out and close the tailgate. Okay, first thing I noticed, it was a little bit harder to get closed, which would make sense, right? Wow, that's hot. Okay. They have aftermarket little handles. I might need to do that because that is really hot. All right. So, closing it up here. You can see, oh boy, okay, I've got light there coming through. And over here, close this up. Same thing. I've got some light right there. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that to block. And of course down below, which we haven't touched yet. Okay. Okay, so this up in here, that's the area that I've got to seal. Figure out how to do that. Let's see. Here's the big seal, bulb seal. I come in like this, maybe down to here. Let me investigate that. Okay, because of this 2 3/4 inch piece of larger seal down here, when I ended up needing to use up here, the big one was too much, so I cut a piece of the small, and it looks like it'll fit right up in here, and I may have to trim at an angle down a little bit because of the, you'll see here that flap coming off there is kind of also cut at an angle. So I might have to marry them up just a little bit. Let me get to this and see how it works. Okay, that's there. Kind of trimmed it a little bit. That works out for this. But I think I'm gonna have light coming through right there, and I think the only option I'm gonna have is to maybe put some butyl tape in there. Yeah, I've got the right side done. And one thing I did that it says not to do is I let it overlap on top of this other one. But if I didn't, I think I'm gonna get light leaking in there anyway. So over time, we'll have to see how we do. And there's enough of this to have spares for doing repairs and things like that. Here, let me lay this out for you. Okay, this is what I've got left of the small seal. So you can see that there is plenty, and I'll have some left over for repairs, as well as the large seal here. I've got stuff left over. Okay, let's take a look and see now. Yeah, so that gap there and that gap there, I think you're gonna have to be, maybe some butyl tape. Darn. Okay, what I skipped is, you take a 1-inch piece, and it says normally the bulb seal goes up, and so I put it down here, and you close it down here, and you close the tailgate. And if it rolls too much, I just pull on the adhesive, and you swap it around, and it seems to be just fine with the bulb up, like it said for the Colorados. So that's how I'm going to do it. Now I will come up here at about a 45 degree. I'll cut a 45 degree and seat it up against that seal coming down, and then run it along that bottom edge. Okay, there's the 45 degree, and I'll just keep working along from left to right. And oh, by the way, that little 1-inch test piece, without thinking, I pressed hard on it when I put it on. So I went to take it off, and literally the tape stayed in the material tore off the back. So yeah, when they say don't press it firmly when you're applying it in case you need to reset it, then they really mean don't press very hard on it, because it'll lock on and it's not going to let go. Okay, to the end. Now I'll just cut that 45 right up in there. Okay, mission accomplished. Let me close up the bed here and we'll take a look, or the tailgate rather. Okay, I'm kind of hanging over the tailgate, and a little bit of light coming in there, and right down there. Yeah, a little bit of light there. I'll need to work on. Okay, so for this corner, I'm going to put a little bit of butyl tape in there, and that should solve that. Okay, so this is the butyl tape. It kind of comes off, and you can mold it like putty. You can't see it now, but behind the seal there, I had used it to kind of seal up that cap that was underneath there, and then up in those corners, I really can't see it now either because of the GFC, but right there in that corner, right up in there, I used some butyl seal. So we'll put some down in here and just kind of putty up the hole, I guess. So that's what the coil looks like. And it's sticky kind of on both sides, and so they tell you to kind of be careful with how you handle it. And I'm just going to take it here and just put it up right up underneath there and kind of shove it up against the bed, and then up into that corner, and then up along the edge here. Trying not to get it too far out, because otherwise the tailgate will kind of seal to it, and then it'll just pull off when I open the tailgate. So I gotta be real careful now. Now you can see the butyl tape's up underneath there, and you can see that there isn't any light coming through that corner. I'll do this to the other side too. I used a much smaller piece down there because there wasn't really that much showing. And I think up here, I'm gonna take and put a piece right up in here. See if I can block that light source. As you can see, I've kind of got it shoved up in there like some putty. We'll see how that works. Okay, same thing with this one. Just kind of put a piece up in there, kind of like a piece of putty. And then it'll eventually, that's gonna stay tacky for, oh man, a better part of a week, but eventually it'll kind of get hard. I just hope I can close the tailgate and the top here without causing too many problems. Anyway, I'll let you know. Okay, the tailgate seal went pretty well, except right here where the top and the tailgate meet on both sides. I can't show you this side because if it's blocked with some gear, but so maybe a little tiny piece of seal will go in there and stop that up. But now I know that it isn't quite perfect.